Super fun project here. Old axe head, really rusted. I've got some other things like that. This bucket has one in it. This is the maiden voyage for this project. This is called electrolysis. I've seen people do this. I've never done it. I've been intimidated by it. It's not a big deal. I'm going to show you how. Okay, here is your basic setup. You're going to start with a 5-gallon bucket. I took 4 pieces of rebar. The way I understand it is when you put your object in the solution, your rebar, your metal, your conductor needs to have a face to it, have a line of sight, and that's the area it's going to help cure. So 4 pieces, and it could be any old 4 pieces of metal. I had rebar laying around. This was an extra piece. Had a big old long piece that I found out in the field that was super rusted. That doesn't matter. Rust doesn't matter on your material, but you do need to have a clean surface to kind of daisy chain these together. So I just took a grinder right here, right here, right here, and right here, and I cleaned up these pieces of rebar down to bare metal so that I could take another piece of metal and link them together. And I used some old copper. We had some utility company abandoned poles years ago, and we collected them up and used them for fence posts and other things. And every time I went and cut a 10-foot piece off of a telephone pole to use as a corner post or something, I would strip off the copper. And of course, I can't get rid of anything, and it's been laying around. Hey, 15 years later, I'm using it for something, and it's this. So string these together. You don't have to complete the circuit. You just need to dead it on your last piece, get good contact so it can conduct well, and then we're going to talk about the next step. Oh, I just zip tied these together, just drilled a couple holes, zip tied them in place so they don't flop around. That's important because you don't want these things to touch your item or other materials. Step 2, now we're going to talk about what goes in the bucket, and that's going to be a solution. It's going to be made of washing soda. Washing soda, I found this in a little grocery store. This is kind of a laundry assistant, and it's got sodium bicarbonate in it. And not baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. So washing soda is the key. You're going to take about 1 tablespoon per gallon, so roughly 4 tablespoons to fill up most of this bucket. We're going to do that now. We're already on to step 3, and that's where we're going to take our washing soda. We're going to pour it into the water. I'm going to fill it up to right about here, so roughly about 4 gallons or so. And we're going to put it in warm water, not cold water. As I understand it, warm water is good, cold water is bad, and warm water helps conduct a lot better. It helps dissolve this, I think, is really the key. Are you ready for step 4? Even if you're not, here it is. We got our bucket with the solution there. It's all stirred up and ready to roll. We've got the item that we're going to de-rust. This is an old axe head, and it is about 4.5 pounds. It's a whopper and has some mushrooming up top, but that's going to clean up. The toe on this is filed down a little bit, but it is a fairly complete axe head, and I want to see how this thing cleans up. Let's get a closer look so you can see where we started. And we're going to suspend this thing from the stick. This is an old tobacco stick, by the way. For you tobacco farmers out there, you might recognize that. And we're going to make sure that when this thing is hanging, it's going to suspend well. It's not going to touch the bottom. It's important that it doesn't touch these posts either. That's going to screw things up. And we're going to get it so it's facing nicely these 4 directions. All right, now we have our battery charger. It's not plugged in yet. Important safety tip, get everything op checked and get it ready and then fire it up. So we're going to connect. I've also got this handle. I got the plastic sitting on the metal, so nothing's gonna mess this circuit up. I'm gonna place the red part of my charger on my daisy chain. These are my sacrificial pieces of metal. And then I'm going to put the black on the item to be cleaned. Getting some nice rain out here. Now we're ready to go. We're going to take a look at everything. The head of that axe isn't touching anything. It's right in the center. These all have good connections. I've got this thing set on 10 amps. This can be in here for 12 hours. I understand the way this works is once it gets to doing its thing, once it's done with rust, it's not going to do anymore. So you can't really overstimulate and overcharge the solution. We just fired that pup up. Now looky here. This thing's already rocking and rolling, and it's been less than a minute. And you can already see some bubbling, and it's doing its thing. All right, 24 hours later, let's check the status of things. I took a sneak peek last night. It was still rock and rolling. I gave it a little scraping with the wire brush and put it back in. Still got some stuff going on, but we're going to pull it. Stay tuned. All right, when you pull this thing, let's remember to unplug it. Then we're going to take our contacts off. Get those out of the way. And we're going to pull the subject at hand. All right, there you go. Man, that thing is cleaned up. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to take this head and we're going to rinse it off and scrub it a little bit gently. And then we need to put some oil on it because this thing can do what's called flash rusting, which the rust come back on surface really quick. So that's what's going to happen next. All right, here's what it looks like before I've done anything. You should always have some gloves like this around because when this comes out, this has got a lot of black char on it, kind of like black ash almost, and it's going to stain your hands. There's no scale or anything left. Got like a little Scotch-Brite pad here. All right, the mission is almost complete. Let me get it up here. You guys can see this. Oh, there's no rust left. Look at that pole. I went ahead and put some oil on this side. And so go ahead and oil that thing up. I may do another video on hanging this particular axe head on a handle, which is a whole nother process. Fun, but has its own set of secrets and technique. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.